again, I think that there's been a lot said about China and the exercise of Chinese power,
Mm.
but a lot of that has been said doesn't really marry up with the reality of the situation. Here in Australia, I think that we are quite well aware that China poses a threat, but it's not the sort of threat that we understand it to be. I think it's certainly an intelligence threat. It's certainly a threat that can cause problems for our politics through influence operations. But as a military threat, it's a military threat only insofar as we see everything through American eyes, but
Mm.
not as an independent entity throwing its weight around. Yeah.
I think since you brought it up, I think the country that is going to have the greatest amount of difficulty adjusting to this new world in some ways is Australia.
Yeah.
Because I think Australia, in some ways, has quite often put all its eggs in one basket.
We always
Uh,
do.
and so clearly you thought that as long as Australia had a solid relationship with the United States, it would be fine and everything would be okay. But you notice that most countries in Asia have decided that they want to have good relations. For example, in Southeast Asia, ASEAN countries, they want to have good relations with the United States and they will keep their good relations with the United States, but they'll also ensure that they keep equally good relations with China. And of course, that's going to take some effort and understanding on the part of Australians. How do you get along with China? Well, Australians still seem to believe that the West will dominate the world. When my book, The Asian 21st Century, came up, I asked my German publisher, Springer Nature in Germany, what is your target? How many downloads should we aspire to get? It's a free book, open access book. And the German publisher told me that if we get 20,000 downloads, it would be a very good result. But instead of 20,000 downloads, there have been 4.2 million downloads of the book.
And you gave it away. You gave it away.
I gave it away.
Very generous, sir.
I'm very happy that there have been 4.2 million downloads of this book in 160 countries, because that's like a tangible signal that the world is psychologically preparing for an Asian century. Whereas most Australian minds remain deeply mired in the past and cannot conceive of a world which is not dominated by the West. And I always speak as a friend of Australia, trying to help Australia out by saying, hey, get ready for a very different world. And in which, by the way, how you speak to and how you treat your Asian neighbors matters a great deal. And I found it very strange that Australians felt that they could lecture China. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. Yeah. I mean, don't you know your place in the world? No country in Southeast Asia, not even a country like Indonesia, with a population which is 10 times bigger than Australia, lectures China. And here's this small country, and I also said in a long article I wrote about Australia's destiny in the Asian century, you'll be left beached, as a remnant of Western power, when Western power would have receded significantly from this region. So, you got to learn to adapt and change. And I'm surprised there are so few Australian voices saying, hey, the world has changed and we must adapt. And that I'm surprised not more Australians are doing.